MVC is a programming model for ASP.NET and has been developed on the core.NET framework, meaning you can still access all the low-level functions. The model is the brains of the application and includes the software logic, consisting of business rules and application data. It also performs tasks. The view is the presentation layer or the interface. It is how it will be displayed to the user. The controller is the component that handles communication between the user and the model. The demonstration of how it works using an example of retrieving a query. The user sees something on the screen and press the button. The controller takes over and translates the button into an action. Passes the action into the model where the model will retrieve data from the database. The database returns the data to the model and the model returns the result back to the controller. The controller displays the data to the user. Each component in the MVC has a role to play. The model manages behavior and data of the application domain. It presents the business rules that govern access to and updates of the data. Since the view is the visualization of the state of the model, the view manages the graphical and textual output of the display of the application. The controller accepts input from the user and instructs the model and view to perform according to the inputs. It translates interactions with the view into actions to be performed by the model. The components go through an ongoing process where the model passes data to the view for rendering. The view then determines which events are passed to the controller, and the controller updates the model based on the events received.
Today I'm going to be talking about the benefits of the MVC design pattern. Firstly, there is a faster development process. What does this mean? This means that MVC supports rapid and parallel development. If an MVC model is being used to create any web application, then one programmer can work on the view while another can work on the controller to create business logic. This makes application development much faster than other development patterns. This is followed by the ability to provide multiple views. With the MVC model, these views can all be linked to one model, which means there are new ways to access your application. Code duplication is also limited as it separates data and business logic from the display. Then there is the support for a synchronous technique. The MVC architecture can integrate with the JavaScript framework. This means that MVC applications can be made to work with PDF files, site-specific browsers, and desktop widgets. Lastly, there is the accommodation for change. To change the user interface, simple additions can be made to the view which won't affect the model.
How's it, guys? So today I shall be speaking about how the MVC design pattern can be used in the real world. So one common example is the UP login page. So your view is where your user will be able to enter their username and password, which is then sent into the controller. From the controller checks the username and password in the model. Once the user's info has been found, the model then passes that info back to the controller, and then the user will be able to successfully log into the UP portal page. However, if for example the user enters the incorrect username or password, the model will then send that to the controller, and the controller will then notify the user that the password is incorrect. And that is how the MVC model can be applied in the real world.